my name is Lisa Brody, and everybody watches accesstv.org. Peace.
This is Jonathan Small, broadcasting live from accesstv.org studios in downtown Hartford. Today is August the 20th. Again, a very nice summer day in New England. And the weekend's pretty much been a nice, comfortable weekend. We had a little bit of rain last night in Hartford and throughout the daytime. But overall, the weather pattern seems to be moving real comfortable going into almost the last quarter of the year. And hopefully everybody throughout the listening audience or the viewing audience can really pick up on, what I've been saying over the past couple of weeks, trying to always throw different ideas and different issues for people to think about and try to look into. And over the weekend, we've had pretty much a very quiet weekend. There's been always going to be some incidents here and there, but you just got to accept that as a part of life, that good and bad is a form of life, and the things that happen good is going to happen, and the things that happens bad is going to happen. Tomorrow we will have a recount of the 5th House District elections between two candidates that ended up in a tie last week, Leo Canty and Brandon McGee. And hopefully everything can be settled tomorrow and we can move on to the next chapter. Politics and the electoral process is going to be real heavy going from this point on into November, and then afterwards we'll have the new president or the same president and new senatorial races and the representatives that's running here in the local area of Hartford and Connecticut. So it's going to be real interesting if you're really into politics, this part of the chapter going into the last part of the year. Trying to give an idea for people to look into, because somebody used to tell me a long time ago, the key that determines success really starts with the frame of mind. So many people believe talent and skills and even luck to some degree is what determines how successful people are going to be. The difference why you have some companies and businesses that go from very little to all the way to the top. Some do start off with a tremendous amount of capital and resources, but if you determine the differences why many businesses fail within the first 5 years, you can kind of transform that into individuals. What is the difference why some individuals have success and other people don't? Is it a trap? Is it a systematical issue? Is it other underlying factors? But try to look into right now basically two areas: the frame of mind and the skill level that you have as a natural gift. You can always go to school, get the training, get the preparation to improve yourself at whatever particular gift that you are interested in or that you're capable of pursuing. But look at the factors of the frame of mind. You have a lot of people out here, particularly if you look at sports, that have the talent to be playing in the professional league, but something has been missing why they're not playing in the professional league. Yes, it's a very competitive market. You only have a certain amount of positions, openings for even the most talented individuals, but you look at the skill level and frame of mind, that separates the two people, that because you really need both to really be on the team. Nobody's not going to make the professional leagues just on frame of mind and no talent, and you're not going to make it on just talent without having the frame of mind. The frame of mind kind of is a little trap or track that people got to look into a little bit differently, because it covers so many different areas of your life. How you separate yourself from what you're dealing with, from what your circumstances that exist. how you can handle going through adversity, how you can deal with what's being thrown at you. You have really no control, pretty much only choices. If somebody is coming down the street at a high rate of speed, you got to make up your mind. Either I'm going to stay where I'm at, or I'm going to be able to move and go and get out of the way. And the frame of mind, again, is a big part of determining how successful you're going to be. You know, can you put up with what's going to be thrown at you? It's very rare, if not impossible, or very rare or non-existence, that you're going to go through life without having some tremendous adversity and challenges and difficulties. Now, how you deal with it continues to be the main solution. You know, do you know how to handle going through what you're going through to not let that interfere and impact your decisions that you make? You have to go to school every single day. You have to go to work every single day. You have to go to that business every single day. People, you have three different classes of people. They claim the rich, the middle class, and the poor people. The poor people who operate on emotions and feelings, they do what they feel like doing. If they don't feel like getting up one day, they don't get up that day. If they feel like getting up, they get up that day. Everything they do as poor people, if you really look into it at the majority level, you'll see that they operate on a pattern of emotions. If they don't like what somebody is doing to them, they find ways to do something to get back at that person. I mean, their whole operation of their mindset basically is on emotions, what they feel like doing and what they don't feel like doing. Most of your middle class people that exist in our society operates on logic. They know they have to go to work. They know their children have to go to school. They know basically they have to go through the process of paying bills to be responsible. If they don't feel like it, they still have to go through it. So most classifications of people that you look at that falls into the middle class structure really operates on logic, you know, basic common sense. They got the frame of mind. They have the talent too, because you have to have the talent to kind of put yourself in that position to be able to be into business, to be able to be a professional, to hold a career level, to be able to send your children to the next level in higher education or whatever particular direction that they need to go into. Then you get to the third segment of people, and although you can say luck to some degree if you hit the lotto or if you're born rich, you could fall into this category. But really, if you look at the most rich people, they operate on a faith level. They know how to take risk. They know how to go outside of the box and utilize something beyond the norm. You know, everybody's not cut out to invest in the stock market. You know, you could lose your whole life savings, but rich people know how to operate on a faith basis and a certain level of risk level. They have a lot of logic and common sense too. They deal with emotional issues too, but they put a higher priority and a higher preparation on the faith level and knowing how to handle risk. I mean, if you go out there and you want to start a business, you can't be always worrying about if you're going to lose, you know, what you're trying to put into the business. You got to have your mind in a level that you know how to go down and continue to stick with whatever is being happening to you regardless. I mean, even my professional football team, the Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones basically spent a lot of money building the new Cowboy Stadium that opened 3 years ago. And basically, when the economy was really going in a very difficult recession, he still was able to put the type of money to keep the stadium, you know, being built, and it was costing a lot of money. You're talking about a professional stadium down in Dallas, Cowboy Stadium, that cost over $1 billion. And when most business people are pretty much utilizing your own money, that's a real scary feeling, you know, to put your money into something and you have a tough economy. You know, we're in a recession, and you have to have that belief that, you know, when it's all said and done, if I'm going the extra mile, that I'm going to get the return on my investment. The average middle class person would have probably backed off for a while, put the stadium on hold, and wait until the economy improves. Poor people are not even in that particular ball game, but the rich people, like, Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, had the faith and the risk level to continue to put the money that he had, and he played the game really to win. I mean, he bought Texas Stadium in 1989, and the Dallas Cowboys combined for $100 million. The Dallas Cowboys and the stadium, Cowboy Stadium now, is worth over $1 billion. So he's a very crafty business person, but let's try to give you the examples that you have between rich, middle class, and poor people. And it gets into the frame of the mind and the so-called talent level that you have to know how to function and know how to operate. We are going to always have in a society three different particular social economic classifications of people that exist. You're rich, you're middle class, and you're poor. It's how you know how to function and how you know how to prepare yourself and, put other factors involved with it to go along with, underlining issues, how certain circumstances you got to know exactly what to do if a crisis comes along. And I think many people are not having the whole frame of mind, and I think that's why you see so many gaps and disparities that exist. I think there's enough capital out here to really make sure that we have the basic necessities, but that doesn't mean that everybody's going to be a middle class or wealthy structural level of persons, or individuals. Taking care of some personal errands this morning. I was driving up to Windsor, a town right outside of Hartford. I ended up passing the Department of Social Service building on Main Street. And basically, as I mentioned a few times before, you had people, 50 to 60 people waiting before the facility opens. It was after the facility opened, because that's the mindset that people in that level prepare and gear themselves towards. They know how to function on that particular level. The workforce level of the factories and the industry, yes, we're losing tremendous manufacturing bases in this society. We don't have the type of manufacturing growth that we once had. There's always going to be new investment opportunities and new business people taking the risk. We have to continue to seek those type of individuals and make sure that we give them exactly what they need, because they're trying to make a tremendous impact. It's not simple to hire and put 100 people on the payroll. You might get caught up into big corporations that have thousands of workers, but believe me, you try opening up a business in a startup company, and you're talking about starting a payroll of employees, and you have to start with 100, and you're talking about medical insurance, workman's comp insurance, the tax structure that you have to pay. It's just not that simple. You got to have somewhat of a risk level to go into business, and even if you're not totally rich, you have to at risk level what it takes. Even my executive producer, took him 4 years basically to get accesstv.org off the ground. It had to be a tremendous risk and faith that he had when he got started, So everybody has different levels that they try to pursue and what they're interested in doing. And I don't know if it can just wake up on you all of a sudden at one particular time, or is a certain level of process that you go through in life to determine, am I going to fall into one of those three categories? It's very important that you understand this, because this is the type of society and life that we have that exists. And basically, the frame of mind is something that you probably have to work on. It's probably not an easy process like skill and talent. Even skill and talent you have to work on. If you, whatever gift that you're trying to pursue, you got to put the time in. So it kind of actually goes hand in hand, to be perfectly honest. Talent and skills and the frame of mind, but you need them both really to get the job complete. If you try to do one without the other, you're going to find yourself probably running a little bit short. So there's always going to be something new and interesting that I'm trying to throw at you. Tomorrow we're going to have the day off, and I'll see you Wednesday, and we'll go from the full week from Wednesday through Friday. I'm going to very much miss not having the program tomorrow, but we got to take care of some personal business. And I just hope that, as this program continues with the small report, that we can kind of come to a better understanding of what you expect from me and then I can build upon, you know, what I'm trying to advocate and what I'm trying to address. So I enjoy myself every day getting the opportunity to come down here to accesstv.org studios and do the small report and basically take it from one step to the next step. And I think as time move on, you're going to see a different level of growth, a different level of operations, how you're going to see a little difference, how I got started, but for the better, not just difference just to be different, always trying to improve and get to the next level. So again, the Small Report is a program that can be seen on the internet online Monday through Friday from 12 o'clock to 12:15. And I enjoy this past day doing the Small Report, and I hope to see you this upcoming Wednesday if God's willing. And until then, everybody have a very blessed day. Thank you.
Let's do it.